All right, media, thank you for joining. Questions for head coach Derek Fisher. Start with Cameron Buford.
Hey, picked up a new duty as an interior decorator, huh, Coach?
Yeah. No, it's all hands on deck, man, in the wobble. Yeah.
Hey, Coach, I got a question. Now that you've seen a couple games in the wobble, what adjustments would you be looking to make for on the sideline or on the court or with the team?
Yeah, I mean, we're constantly facing, new elements and variables. This week, both of our games are the second game on our court that night, which means similar to like an NCAA tournament game, you only have like an hour in between the first game and the second game to do all of your warm-ups and everything that you need to do on the court. So you are still going to be adjusting, I think, from those standpoints in terms of 10 p.m. tip-off, really, really short and condensed warm-up period of time. But in terms of, lineups, substitution patterns, those type of adjustments, things that we can do to get off to better starts. A lot of that for us is just mentally and physically being, prepared and ready to go right from the beginning. We had a chance to work on some things the last couple of days that we think will help. Still it's a competition, and the team that's ready to compete the hardest usually figures it out. And, we have to keep developing those competitive muscles as well, even without the high, degree of practice time that we normally would have.
Tukmi New in LA Times.
Speaking to those kind of competitive muscles, what things do you do in practice to kind of get those juices flowing, whether you're scrimmaging, which I know you can't do a lot of just for health reasons, but whether you're scrimmaging or doing something else, how do you keep those competitive muscles firing to get them ready to go for games?
Yeah, I mean, it really was impossible once we got beyond Monday of last week. With 4 games in 7 days, you can't practice in between those games. It's just impossible to do that. So by the time you get to the end of your first week in the season, the level of slippage, timing, rhythm, et cetera, it's completely off. And, as we're acclimating new players, and the way those new players have really positively impacted our group, it'll be challenging to keep finding that rhythm that you only get from playing together. And so the last couple of days have been good for us to mix in, we feel like some things that allow us to be competitive, more controlled scrimmage-like, reviewing and covering some things offensively that we want to get accomplished, because we feel like defensively we're doing a decent job. We could rebound better, and we could do some things better on that end. But as we learn how to play together offensively at a higher level and become more efficiently playing offense, we feel like we can make a big jump.
Pavy, HNB Media.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good, Pavy. How you doing?
I'm good. With so many games in, such a short time, having a very condensed schedule, having some older players, will load managing be something that you'll consider doing at all this season?
Yes. To be honest, yes. We were talking about that last night as coaches that, and I take responsibility for that. Like, I think part of our ability to have some energy in the first game of the season was due to lower minutes. And I think going into that game, the right mindset of knowing that, Chelsea, Candace, Nneka, et cetera, Simone, not ready to play 30 minutes in a game at this point in the season. And then Tuesday night comes and we fall behind early, and kind of lost sight of, as we tried to work our way back into that game, minutes got a little high, and then over the course of the week, they kind of stayed a little higher than they need to right now. And so, we're going to have to get back to managing the right amount of minutes that will allow each player to play at her highest level. And then she and we can build how long that is as the season goes on. And we have enough depth to do that, and we need to take advantage of it more often. So that's my responsibility, and I'll do a better job in that area.
John W. Davis.
Good West Coast afternoon to you, Coach. How you feeling?
Yes, sir. I'm good, John. I'm good, man. Thankful. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Got a question for you. So last year when we talked, you told me that 10 games was a large enough sample size to begin to use advanced stats to kind of manage your rotation.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously 10 games in this season is half the season. So with that in mind, what are you thinking you'll be able to do? Or with that in mind, when do you think you'll be able to use advanced stats to improve these rotations and then even possibly make some changes to your starting lineup?
Yeah, we started looking at it the last couple of days. 4 games is a week. And again, not a big sample size, not enough minutes in a normal season format, but still enough tidbits of information to start to see, when certain players are on the court, what your offensive ratings are, your defensive ratings, your rebounding, your ability to get defensive stops, deflections, different things that you track from a data perspective. So obviously over the next 10 days, we'll have 6 games and we'll end up at that 10 game mark halfway through the season. That'll obviously be enough of a sample to really see some patterns, but we're going to have to remain adjustable and adaptable over this next 10 days. If there needs to be a change to the lineup or a change to the rotation, I think all 12 of our players are all in with our group. I think they trust their teammates. They trust my decision-making. And if a change is necessary and it needs to happen, it will. And they're still going to be prepared to play and ready to go. Everybody just wants to do what's best for the team. And we're fortunate to have that kind of group this year.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey there, Marie. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. What do you find yourself doing off the court down there to kind of keep yourself occupied, or have you developed any new hobbies, reading any good books? What do you find yourself doing there off the court?
Well, since I've been dealing with my injury a little bit, I've been actually working out a lot and like doing rehab, making sure that I stay in shape and also stay healthy and get better. So I've been really doing that most of the time. And then Sid and Brittany Sykes and we always hang out in our apartment and just hang out, have little dance parties in the kitchen. Yeah, I don't know. It just goes day by day. Sometimes we don't feel like socializing and we're just hang out alone. And other days we're just hanging out and talking, going to the pool, whatever comes up.
John W. Davis.
Hi, Marie. How would you describe your injury? When do you think you picked it up? And do you think you are ready to play tomorrow?
Well, I have an ankle sprain, so I've been recovering from that. So I just basically twisted my ankle. Courtney and I are working really good together, and we're just figuring out day by day how I feel, how it's getting better, how my recovery process is. I've been practicing full now, so hopefully I'll be back on the court soon. But it takes a little more communication with Courtney and seeing where I'm at.
Jeff Simsta.
Hi, Marie. I got a question for you. The team is currently 11th in rebounds, 9th in blocks. They could really use another center down low. How do you plan to, when you do get back in the game, how do you plan to make a difference there?
I think just being more being aggressive and helping the team out with communicating. I think right now we just need a lot of communication, building trust, and with that, we'll knowing when shots go up and knowing each other better. And I think with that, there will be more rebounds and more blocks because we will know rotations better. So I think with me coming back, I will try my best to just communicate a lot and building trust with my teammates so that we can move together on the court better.
Last question for Marie, Pavy, HNB Media.
Hey, Marie. Being that you've sat down and you've had a courtside view of watching, 4 games, has there been anything that you've learned about this team that maybe you didn't know going through the practices?
I think just that everyone wants to win and everyone just communicates a lot. I really appreciate that about that team. every team I've been on, there has been communication, but the way it has been here, it has been different. Everyone is very honest and straightforward, and no one really takes it personal. It's just a feedback type of situation. So I've noticed that a lot, and just the competitiveness between all the players, even in practice. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, media, questions for Sydeny Wiese. Cameron Buford.
Hey, good afternoon, Sydney. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, thank you for asking. Sydney, you're down there at the IMG Academy. What's the biggest adjustment that you had to make in terms of your game and adjusting to your teammates down there?
I think right now, I'm just trying to be whatever the team needs me to be. I know that my role has been giving Chelsea a break, running the show for the second group, and we're all learning each other's games, and we have to learn through the fire right now. We don't have a lot of time to practice, and so being thrown into the position where we're in live game action, and I want to make sure that everyone is put in positions to have success, that it's not overcomplicated, that we keep things really simple, and I just want to do my best to keep things organized out there and don't miss any assignments defensively, and so I'm just trying to keep it super simple for me and for other people right now.
Tukni New in LA Times.
Hey, Sydney, you just mentioned Chelsea. What do you appreciate the most about what Chelsea brings to this team? And if you could kind of describe the personality she brings to the bench and to the locker room.
Yeah, Chelsea's a great leader, and she does it all. I mean, you just saw the last game, she got 500 career rebounds, and when you have a point guard who can distribute, score, and rebound, she's a floor general out there. And her energy is always great. She's trying to hype people up. She gets excited when there's great plays on the bench or on the floor. And so right now, and she said a couple times too that she wants to continue to develop into a more vocal leader defensively. She runs the show offensively. That's what she does, but she wants to make sure to take care of the defensive end too. So I appreciate that she's always looking to improve and be better, not only individually, but for our group. And so you can count on her to do whatever the game asks for. And she's always going to perform at her best for us.
Pavy, HNB Media.
Hey, Sydney. When I asked Marie, what she's learned, just sitting back over these 4 games and having a bird's eye view of the team, she said the communication has been great, and it hasn't always been like that everywhere she's been. You being on the team, I guess if you can look at last year and this year, does it seem like you guys are more comfortable communicating with each other?
I definitely think that as we have grown used to the new coaching staff, they're not new anymore, but as we've gotten to know each other in this system, we know how to hold each other accountable on both ends of the floor because we know the expectations and what we're supposed to be doing. And so I've always appreciated being a part of this organization because there has been clear accountability. There's been really good communication across the board on and off the court. And so every woman that I get to work with, they are amazing professionals. They're amazing people. And nothing is taken personally. I think we all have the united vision of wanting to win and wanting to win a championship. And so we're willing to have those conversations that we need to have in order to get there. And so I'm thankful that Marie can experience that and that she also is free to use her voice too. And I don't think that happens everywhere. Everyone across the board, from rookies to vets, everyone's voices are made to be heard, and we all bring unique perspectives. And so it's nice to be in an environment like that.
Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you. Go Sparks!